Hello everyone, it's Nancy at Paper Moon Tarot. It's New Year's Day, so happy New Year's if you're watching this today or any day of the year. Hope it's a really good one. I have a couple new decks, the last couple of decks I got in 2023, and I wanted to share them with you. And interestingly, they are both from Scottish creators. I happen to be majority Scottish in my background, so that's kind of fun for me. And they're both incredibly different, but I really like both of them. So I'm just gonna give you a quick look through, not a full flip through, but a quick look at their cards. And I would love to know in your comments below which one you like, if you like either one or both of them, and why. And so we're going to dive in. The first is Archives of Nature Tarot by Ashley Cook, and the second is Remembering the Sweet Fool Tarot by Tricia Murray. So that's the two decks. Let's take Archives of Nature Tarot first. I was feeling a craving for a collage deck, and get specs off my table. I'd looked through all the usual suspects and I was trying to figure out what I wanted, and I don't know, nothing hit me. So I saw this on Etsy and mentioned to my husband as we were approaching Christmas, and in his wonderful way, he listened and he got it for me. So this is a tuck box here. It was produced in 2022. Both of these decks, again, ironically, are limited editions of 300. This one is 114 of 300. And not too mainstream. I haven't seen a lot of coverage of these, but this collage deck I like for a lot of reasons, so I'll mention those as I go through. The cardstock is, I think, one of these is 350 GSM, the other's 400. This might be the 400. They are both nice cardstock, laminated, as you can tell, pretty thick, so I'm guessing that's the 400. They are reasonably flexible, but they're very sturdy. And if you've watched this before, you know I'm not much of a shuffler, so I can't tell you how it riffle shuffles, but I suspect it shuffles fine. It's not sticky or anything like that. The backs look like this. I think they're very pretty. I think I read in her little booklet at some point that or maybe no, there's no booklet, just the description on Etsy, that this is one of the first images captured in space. I'm forgetting the Peter marks. I don't know, some telescope, and it recurs throughout the deck. This star, but that's where it's from. It's an actual image from space. The cards have greenery in the border, which is kind of interesting. Kind of adds to the feel of the cards, I think. Anyway, let me know what you think about that. There's also a little image behind here, behind the titles of some flowers or branches or whatever. So you can tell it's a collage deck. One of the things I really like about this as a collage deck is the faces. You very often see in collage decks, they use photos, and for me, the faces just pop out sometimes as like, the rest looks like it could be a painting and suddenly there's a face. I find the Moonchild Tarot does that, where it's like that face just doesn't fit with the feeling of the card for me, and that's not just that deck. There's a lot of collage decks where the face pops out as being sort of from 2023, and yet the feeling of the card is either fantasy or medieval or whatever. But anyway, in this deck, I think she does a very good job of making the faces blend in. They do not look like realistic photos that are popping out at you. So that's one thing I like. I like the colors that go on in this. It's very vibrant. It's very clear. It's certainly an RWS style deck. You will notice in the suits there is the playing card designation, as it were, diamonds for pentacles. So in all the pentacles, you'll see a diamond somewhere in the image. and then spades and clubs and hearts for their appropriate suits. And that's kind of different. I haven't seen that before. Again, very RWS style meanings. You know, if you could use this deck as a beginner and you'd be fine. If you, it's sort of a fantasy style collage to me. Another pentacle. I like this Five of Pentacles a lot. Without having a church there, it gives you the sense of uh, something in there that it would be helpful and calming and comforting without it being religious, which I think is kind of nice for that card because not all of us are religious. The cups. Again, you'll see a heart image on all of the cups. That is one of the most beautiful cups I've seen in a tarot deck. The swords have a spade in them. There. But I think as a collage deck, and I do not have many, so to have a collage deck like this, I think it's really beautiful and really interesting, and there's so much going on in there for you to take away from the cards. But this, again, is the Archives of Nature Tarot by Ashley Cook. You know, you can find it on Etsy. Just search by the name and the creator. Here again, there's our diamond. You'll also see this symbol for the atom throughout the deck. Here and there, you'll see that, as well as that star image. There again, she's got a heart pendant. I think some of these cards are just gorgeous. And I love the water at her feet. So again, there's a lot to pick out on the cards. Six of Wands with all the clubs up here, the club symbols. Don't like anatomical hearts in Three of Swords, but we'll move on. Death card is great. I love how the horse almost looks ghostly and skeletal, and yet greenery and so forth growing at Death's feet. So that is the Archives of Nature Tarot, Ashley Cook, and I'm really enjoying it. You might want to check it out if you like collage decks. I like this Nine of Cups with the dunce cap on, or whatever that cap is supposed to be. Okay, so that is the first deck that I got as a Christmas gift, which always makes them special. And the second one is Remembering the Sweet Fool Tarot by Tricia Marie. This has a sturdy box, but nothing fancy inside. Doesn't have thumb pulls, but it pulls off quite easily. So that's fine. You'll find in this deck this little bird appears in a lot of the cards. Again, very good sturdy cardstock. This one does have a booklet, and it's reasonably substantial. It's not a tiny white booklet. It's got full color images inside, and instead of a description, it's kind of a little poem for each. I build a box and sit me down. A breath to take, a moment here for space, for the mist to clear. That's your poem. That goes with the Four of Points, in this case swords, obviously. And there's our little bird. So this is a very minimalistic deck. I'm not positive if it's collage or not, but it almost feels like she's set up these little vignettes and taken photos. Five of Hills, and Hills is Pentacles. Very muted, some color, obviously, you can see the red, the blue, but also a lot of grays. Nine of Pentacles, all these riches and things gathered together. Ten of Pentacles. So it's a very suggestive deck. It suggests the feel of something. There's the Knight of Wands. And you've just simply got this flame in the heart of the forest or a tree. Death. So if you're not into this sort of moodier deck, you may not like this, but I love it. I really love it. It in a spread, it just, I don't know, it just works really well together. And again, it's not for beginners, I would say. You're not necessarily going to be able to figure out Hierophant from that. If you know tarot, you can figure that out. Justice. With the scales down here. The King of Wands or King of Sticks. Just a majestic tree, but they're beautiful, I think. Now, I'd love to know your opinion. You may say, what the hell is that? But for me, it's a very simple, moody deck, beautiful deck that I really like. So, King of Cups. A lot of earthy things, stones and twigs and that kind of thing. The Emperor reminds me of the Ten of Pentacles. A lot of things around this. I guess the bird is our Emperor. A lot of stuff, a lot of implements for building, for war, who knows. The Sun, that just gives a feeling of sun to me. It glows, and there's our little bird there, kind of following through the story, like our Fool going through the story. The Queen of Wands, she just glows. I love Temperance in this deck. The cat sitting there with the bird on its head. I mean, for a cat to do that and just sit there calmly while balancing a bird shows a very, a lot of temperance, I guess. A lot of control and balance. I just love the picture. And I suspect it's a combination of some photography and some digital manipulation. But this is Remembering the Sweet Fool Tarot by Tricia Murray. The Page of Wands with just this little, Page of Wands, just this little flicker of a light in some weeds, some branches, whatever. Again, I would love to know your opinion about this. Is this a deck you could use? Again, I'm just gonna, in this one, I think spreading them out, seeing them together, just really gives you the mood of the deck. It's just, it gives me a feeling of calm and ability to sort of ponder. So anyway, that's the way I feel about it. So those are two decks, the last ones I got for 2023. Again, both from Scottish creators, and completely different when you look at that and that. You know, one very busy, one very simple. And there's probably a time for each of those approaches. So that is that for today. And just give you the boxes as a parting image. I recommend both of them. I think they're beautiful. and unique. And that one's upside down. So everybody, thank you for joining me and for sticking with it. If you've stayed this long, I hope you all have a wonderful 2024, and we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.